Every day there will be a new expose, says Lalit Modi. What has BCCI done about the names of 3 players that Lalit Modi exposed several years ago? Now, BCCI Secretary Anurag Thakur said that the ICC hasn't responded on the question of the involvement of the 3 players. Let's listen in to Anurag Thakur. We'll get you more on that big story.
ICC से पल्ला नहीं झाड़ा है। जब कोई अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर क्रिकेट खेलता है तो उसकी जिम्मेदारी आईसीसी के एंटी करप्शन यूनिट की है, उसकी इन्वेस्टिगेशन करने की। आईसीसी ने उस पर इन्वेस्टिगेट किया है, उसकी रिपोर्ट की आउटकम क्या है, आईसीसी उस पर बेहतर उत्तर कर सकती है। बीसीसीआई को उन्होंने लिखित रूप में कुछ उस पर जानकारी नहीं दी। इस पर मैंने आपको पहले भी कहा, इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट काउंसिल ने जब उनको एक ईमेल मिली, उन्होंने उसके बाद बीसीसीआई को इससे अवगत करवाया और इस पर इंक्वायरी आईसीसी को कंडक्ट करनी, क्योंकि उनका एंटी करप्शन यूनिट इस पर काम करता है। तीनों खिलाड़ी अंतर्राष्ट्रीय क्रिकेट खेलते हैं, आईसीसी के नियम के अनुसार उनको इसके ऊपर इंक्वायरी करनी है और उन्होंने इंक्वायरी डेफिनेटली की हो। इफ देयर कुड हैव बीन एनीथिंग दे कुड हैव रिपोर्टेड बैक टू अस। प्रोटोकॉल इज ऑफ कोर्स हियर। The follow-up is there is nothing in that. If there could have been something, they could have reported back to us. If there is nothing from the ICC, of course, yes, it's a clean sheet only. See, if ICC has not reported anything on that, that means a clean sheet.
ICC says there's nothing in it. They haven't reported back to us. That means it's a clean chit, says Anurag Thakur, Secretary of the BCCI. But where does this go from this point on? I want to bring in Boria Majumdar, who got us that explosive interview with Lalit Modi. And Boria joins us live from London. Also with me is my colleague Shivani Gupta, joins us from the newsroom, and Rasesh Mandani joins us from Mumbai. Boria, coming to you first. Is there merit in Anurag Thakur saying ICC did not come back to us, ICC was probing, and if they haven't told us anything, it means there's a clean chit?
You know, these 3 players are all from a particular franchise, Gaurav, and it is the IPL, which is the BCCI's internal tournament. I mean, ultimately, it is the responsibility of the BCCI as well. The ICC clearly is telling you yesterday that we have informed the BCCI, so they are passing the buck to the BCCI. Now the BCCI is saying the ICC did not tell us, so it's the BCCI is passing the buck to the ICC. So a football game is being played, which the football is being passed from the board to the ICC and the ICC to the board. The fact of the matter is, was due diligence done? Where is the report? If the ICC has conducted due diligence, let the report be made public and let us all know that a clean chit was given. All these are false allegations. Why are we not being told clearly by Dave Richardson and his cohorts in the ICC that yes, we did due diligence, yes, nothing was found, yes, these allegations are baseless? By not saying this, they are actually casting aspersions on the credibility of these players, because it's important. One point, the fact that Baba Diwan comes out yesterday and says these allegations are baseless tells me one thing, that he did not know about them till yesterday. The fact is, if he did not know, so the ICC has not pursued it, because they would have gotten in touch with him. The BCCI would have gotten in touch with him. The fact that he is feigning ignorance is because the ICC or the BCCI hasn't investigated it further. Now that is proving to be a problem for cricket. I want cricket to be cleansed. You want cricket to be cleansed. So these aspersions cannot be the way forward. So due diligence has to be done, and the report needs to be made public.
Stay with me for a moment, Boria. Rasesh, was due diligence done in this case? Was this case investigated at all, or did the ICC just forward Lalit Modi's complaint to BCCI and nothing has been heard of it ever since?
Gaurav, the protocol has been followed as far as the ICC is concerned. That's the official version.
Okay, let me put that question to Shivani Gupta while we try and rectify that line with Rasesh Mandani in just a moment. Shivani, was this case investigated at all? And if so, what was the formal outcome?
Neither body, neither the ICC nor the BCCI have actually come out and said openly whether it was taken further, whether due diligence was done, whether this was investigated. And of course, as Boria just mentioned, each body is passing the buck to the other. There might be a confusion, merit in both versions. First of all, what the ICC said was that we shared this letter with the BCCI. They did not say that the BCCI was supposed to investigate this, and these 3 players are international players, so it would fall under the ICC purview as well. But as Boria mentioned, these are all also players from a certain franchise of a domestic tournament.
Yes.
So the onus was also on BCCI to see whether these links are credible or not. And every time we ask the BCCI or the ICC about such ACSU matters, they always say that these matters are not made public. But I think in this case, it would actually serve them, if they did investigate, to reveal that they did investigate and nothing was found. And I think that version needs to come from the ICC now, because the BCCI, Anurag Thakur, the secretary, has clearly said that we didn't hear anything further to this complaint. That means that ICC found nothing.
Okay. So, Rasesh, the BCCI does not intend to investigate this. Whatever action was to be taken, if at all was taken by the ICC. As far as the BCCI is concerned, these players are clean.
Yes, Gaurav, and I find that quite, bizarre, for the BCCI to understand. Is the simple reason why the BCCI does not want this to investigate because the person who's alerted them about these happenings is Lalit Modi? There may not be.
Okay. Boria, is Lalit Modi also hinting at a very clear conflict of interest? The three players belong to the Chennai Super Kings. There is a Srinivasan link, and once again, in the ICC anti-corruption unit, there's a straight Srinivasan link. So because of this conflict of interest, is he alleging that an investigation was either not carried out or, if at all, perhaps perfunctory?
Of course, he is clearly stating that. In fact, when I asked him that, do you think it will now be investigated now that this letter is in the public domain? He said no. He said because ICC has Mr. Srinivasan as its chairman. He is the head of the anti-corruption unit of the ICC as the chairman of the ICC. So one can clearly understand. That's what Lalit Modi's version is. So he is shooting straight at Mr. Srinivasan and at the BCCI and is telling us that, let these people answer if due diligence was done. So he's not keeping it under wraps. He's going big time for Mr. Srinivasan and for the BCCI bigwigs and the political class. I mean, he was extremely aggressive yesterday,
yes.
When I met him, Gaurav, and in that interview. And for once, he's not keeping it quiet. He's saying, if I was to leak it, I would have leaked it 4 years back. I didn't leak it. BCCI did. Mr. Srinivasan will not investigate. And he's putting a challenge. He's saying it will not be investigated because these people are at the head of the respective bodies.
But Boria, these three cricketers, are they not just pawns in a much bigger and dirtier game that is being fought between two bigwigs in the cricketing world, whether it's N. Srinivasan on one side and Lalit Modi on the other? Players are just pawns.
Of course they are. I mean, having said that, if there is any merit to these charges, Gaurav, they are international players, then the game has been sacrificed or compromised. Now, we need to know. On the other hand, they have credibility. We also need to know if they are false charges, because we cannot level aspersions against players who still wear India colours.
Yes.
They are players who don national colours, played for us in the World Cup. We need to know if these players are clean. So while there is a bigger political game going on, at the same time, the charges are of significance. That's why I'm very keen that Anurag Thakur tell us that yes, BCCI will do due diligence and these reports are baseless or false, rather than saying, oh, the ICC has done the job. And the ICC should come out and say, yes, these players are clean. We have done the job. No one's saying we've done the job, and that is the problem.
Boria Majumdar, Shivani Gupta and Rasesh Mandani, for the moment, many thanks for joining me. We will continue to track this story.